Welcome back to another episode with the Uplifters. I'm here with my good friend Corey Cottrell, and we're here to actually talk to Inch from OnePlanet. We're going to introduce you guys to all the amazing things that OnePlanet's done over the last few months. And we're going to do that via one of my favorite people in the space, Inch. So welcome to the show, Inch. How are you? And yeah, just give us a brief introduction. Who are you? And induction, sure. Induct us into the ways of OnePlanet.
Hello. It's really a huge honor to be here at the Uplifters with Jimmy and Corey. My name is Inch, and I'm the business development leader at OnePlanet, which is a NFT marketplace on Polygon. We started our business on Terra, actually, and as everybody would know, a tragic incident happened on our ecosystem. So after the crash, we actually had discussions with a dozen of blockchain foundations, and we decided our new home to be on Polygon. And we successfully landed on Polygon on 6th, about 14 days ago. And we not only migrated our marketplace solely on Polygon, but actually we offered the ARC to good old friends at Terra. So majority of Terra NFT projects got onboarded to the ARC, and we successfully handled the migration for them as well.
So I went through the migration the other day with my Crunks and a few other NFT projects that I had on Terra, and it was really well done. I have to say, there was no like deposit this in this contract and it'll come out the other end. It was pretty much all automated. All you had to do was like go in there and sign a transaction, and then right away it popped up on OnePlanet. I have a couple problems that we'll get to later that I'd like to ask you about, but like otherwise, like I think that like the way that it was migrated was really cool. And so some of you out there might not know, you actually had to perform an action on chain to be able to migrate it. And one of the other things that I like about it was you don't actually have to migrate if you don't want to. It's only the people that want to. But once you migrate your NFTs from the old Terra Classic chain over to the Polygon chain, then I believe that all of the NFTs that were migrated from the old Terra Classic chain are frozen. So they're no longer, they no longer can do anything. They can no longer move. They can no longer be sold. But it's the exact same asset over on the Polygon chain. And in a way, now you've kind of divided some of these collections across, two blockchains. Now, some of them might die. Terra might die, but, with a 200% pump last week, we don't know, right? Like, there's really interesting things that could go around. But yeah, like I'm kind of curious, why was the decision made to only migrate people who went in and actually had an action and signed the contract rather than the whole collection itself over to the other chain?
So it is basically about what NFTs are. So they are the digital assets that that exist on the blockchain, and the very concept of NFT, which makes it valuable, is that you truly own this digital asset. So it was really at the contrast of this valuable idea, if we just migrate them as a centralized entity and centralized decision to port them over to Polygon, we thought it wouldn't fit the concept of it. And we truly value the concept of decentralization and the true ownership of digital assets. So that is why we moved on into this migration process as what we did.
And you guys did something cool too as well. So if you have NFT, if anyone out there has NFTs on Terra that they haven't migrated, I suggest you do it. I think it's October the 5th or 6th. I could have that date a little bit wrong, but with the migration actually came a small little bonus of some Matic tokens that people could use to operate on the network. So yeah, I don't know how that came about, but that was pretty awesome because I didn't actually have to have anything in my wallet to be able to migrate it. It was all taken care of. I didn't have to go and do anything other than essentially create a Polygon wallet from the really easy steps that you guys had on your site from MetaMask. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I got a little bit of extra Matic, but yeah, that's always good, right?
Yeah. So if you migrate your NFTs from Terra to Polygon, you can receive 2 medics per each NFT that you migrate. So yeah, the reason we prepared this little gift for the migrator is that there should be something in your wallet if you want to explore the new ecosystem, and we wanted to provide the incentives for you to do that. So not only to purchase NFTs or list your NFTs on OnePlanet, it is incentives for you to explore the whole Polygon ecosystem. And to do that, you will need a little, Matic tokens to pay for the gas and, maybe pay for a little things. And also, when you are processing the migration, actually, you're signing transactions to interact with contracts on both chains. And we actually cover the gas fees on both sides by airdropping Luna Classics LUNCs to the wallets that actually possesses the eligible NFTs to migrate. And on Polygon side, we handled it via meta transactions. So OnePlanet actually covered the gas fees through the smart contracts that we set up to migrate your NFTs. So we fully covered the gas fees needed for the migration process itself. And we also provided some incentives for you to explore the Polygon ecosystem. And I really hope you will like this ecosystem as your new home, if you are the refugee who lost your home, as myself. And I hope it helps.
Yeah, I mean, so for a lot, some of you might know, like I first did a show with Inch over on the writer podcast channel, and we talked about OnePlanet pre-migration days. But around that time, I had actually told Corey, because we're not chain agnostic, but we focus a lot on Wax over here, and a couple other ecosystems. But I actually told Corey, like, what you guys are doing over there, at OnePlanet reminds me a lot of why we love Nifty Blocks so much, right? Like why Corey loves Nifty Blocks, right? You guys are just putting out so much out there for the ecosystem and helping them to projects to like basically keep their dream alive, right? Like the unfortunate incident, which we shall not talk about. But like a lot of projects got really screwed, and you guys stepped up and you decided, look, we're going to take the top 50 NFT projects and we're going to put them through the kind of test of time and make sure that they're good projects. I'm not really sure what I'm allowed to say, but like pretty much everything that I saw in the back end was all verified. All collection owners were verified. Everything was done to the best of the ability to ensure that these are legit projects that are here to stay and that aren't just here for a paycheck and walk the other way. I don't want to reveal anything I'm not allowed to reveal, but if you could just give us a quick recap of what types of projects you chose to migrate, because there were ones that didn't make the cut, right?
So basically, when we were preparing for the migration, we wanted to provide the opportunity to stand on our feet again for the projects who are really suffering from the crash, but still who are taking really good care of their community. So actually, there were a lot of projects and the founders of the projects vanished after the crash happened. So of course, if there were any kind of initiative from the community, itself, and there were positive movements there who would like to take on the leads to Project Alive, of course, it could be one of the projects who can be onboarded to the ARC to migrate to Polygon, but basically, well, we were interviewing. We interviewed every teams who applied for the migration process, and we also wanted to hear about the plans that they have. By us handling the migration process itself, we wanted them to concentrate on doing what will bring values back to their projects and for their community. So we carefully listened to their plans. And we wanted to, see if they are, going to, actually, we are not, the judges or anything who can tell it will work or not. But at least, I wanted to, make sure that they will try really hard. So we selected ones who will really try hard, and there were still, active community there. So we could actually, I love that you're saying that those are top 50 projects. So, I think, when we're talking about, the quality of the projects who migrated, to Polygon along with OnePlanet is really, the top projects from Terra. Of course, there are a few who stayed on Terra or who migrated to another ecosystem, but majority of, the major projects are here on Polygon with us. So I'm really happy about that too. And you mentioned that, them being verified. Actually, it was necessary because the whole migration process was possible because there was supports from Polygon Foundation and Polygon Studios. So the Polygon Studios, they established a fund for Terra developers only. They wanted to, provide the, best supports for them to, reestablish their projects and, make the best out of their community once again. So actually, they created multi-million-dollar funds for them. So we did agents for them to operate the fund and to actually execute the fundings for them. The KYC process, KYC and KYB process was necessary. So yeah, basically all the projects now on OnePlanet and from Terra, the founders, the whole core team from the projects are verified. And I think it can be one of our strengths points. And it is also true that we've been, verifying the founders of the projects who partner up with OnePlanet back on Terra too. So yeah, I'm not going to say that, we can vouch for the future of the projects, but those are the people who are really committed to their projects and to really committed to their community. So yeah, please visit OnePlanetNFT.io and take a look at those projects who are making, the great, great outcomes once again, even after experiencing the crash, the, unprecedented crash that happened on blockchain since.
Well, and just because someone's doxed or doesn't necessarily mean that they're good projects. I mean, Fake Toshi comes to mind. I'm not saying anything, just saying. Like I know a couple people who are doxed that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole anymore. And the beauty about blockchain is it will come out, right? But what I like about what you guys kind of did as well, that was one of the things that I wasn't sure I was allowed to say, but every project that migrated, they essentially got like a development grant, to keep going. Which is really nice because in a crypto bear, having development money is always good, right? So
yeah, it's so true.
There's that. One more question. He's got questions, but my final question that I kind of wanted to touch base on was I was just kind of curious, right? Because if you go over to OnePlanet again, you've got these top hyped Terra projects that have ported over there now, and there's a really strong community. There's a bunch of trading happening. There's a bunch of things that are being sold in various communities that are popping up. And I'm just kind of curious, what was the reception, or has there even been time enough to gauge the reception from Polygon people, right? Because we do live in this space. Vitalik put out a tweet the other day, or a series of tweets the other day, which was brilliant. And he was talking about essentially maximalists, right? And he was talking about how the maximalists, if they basically come and they say, okay, this is our chain because we do everything better, and they're not, even looking at other places in the space, then he's kind of done with them, which, ironically enough for me is quite funny because he's the one who probably to the, horror of every ETH maximalist said that EOS has a place in the Ethereum ecosystem not so long ago, right? Which is quite interesting. So I'm just kind of curious because I think with NFTs, Corey kind of pointed this out to me. There's something different about NFTs, right? There's something different about art. There's something different about AI. There's something different about the way that the community who believes in this as the future kind of looks at it as opposed to just another coin token go uppy type of thing, right? So I'm kind of curious, how is the reception so far over on Polygon? Have you seen a lot of new people coming in? Have you seen a lot of the Terra people branching out and bringing other projects in? And then the second part to that question is, do you have a plan to onboard new users beyond those 50 in the Polygon ecosystem, and any updates on that?
Yeah, so actually, to talk about the reception, it was amazing, actually. It was the best hospitality that I have ever experienced, I guess, ever since we announced our, migration to Polygon, and ever since we got in touch with, the core, the projects and the core dApps that is being built or already built on Polygon. They all, they were really, their arms were really wide open. Actually, we really enjoyed the hospitality. And I think the reason they really loved OnePlanet and the initiative we brought from Terra is because, our marketplace has always been really focused on utilities. And if we are talking about, the folks on Polygon, they are utility maxes, I guess. They're not really medic maxes, but they are utility maxes. So they are really obsessed with the mass adoption of the blockchain technology. And they truly believe that, businesses being built on blockchain using, cheap and fast and also secure using the Polygon's technology, scaling up Ethereum is going to make that happen. And they needed a, kind of community builder and platform builder who can become, a hub for the projects who are, who wants to do that on Polygon. And they have been thinking that they did lack it on the ecosystem. So I think that is the reason, most of the people's arms were wide open, welcoming OnePlanet, as, we've always been there with them. So yeah, we're being connected with a lot more projects, not only from Terra, but also it is true that, the community, the builders who came from Terra with us are bringing a lot more people to the ecosystem as well, not only the ones from Terra, but also, the projects that is, being built native on Polygon and who are also migrating from other chains to Polygon are also, making the partnerships with OnePlanet. So for now, actually, there are 63 projects that is being traded on OnePlanet, and 62 are from Terra, but there already are one project called Tracer, which is a move to earn platform. They want to build the most sustainable move to earn platform on Earth, and yeah, they are now available on OnePlanet. And we are going to, showcase a lot more projects who are newly launching on Polygon and who already established their project on Polygon as well. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that, what we've always been preaching, OnePlanet will become the hub for the builders and the community who wants to make the utilities of the NFTs and the, blockchain mass adoption to become, reality. For the people who wants to do that, the hub for the people who wants to do that on Polygon.
I mean, as Corey knows, I'm pretty excited about this, but I should just let sorry, I got distracted. Random people walking through the countryside. As people, as Corey knows, I get quite excited, but I want to let Corey ask a couple questions because I have a couple more things that I'd like to ask, but we usually do gratitudes as well. So, Corey, what have you got? Like, do you have any questions? Or any
I just pulled the game. I mean, honestly, Andrew, I just want to say thank you. Right, like the idea, especially like as we kind of moved into bear market, the skies falling mentality. There's so much out there that people will glom onto and just like immediately go to the negative. You guys just went to work and found a solution and figured out how to serve your community of communities. And that's like that. And it's inspiring, frankly, right? I mean, Uplift, we've been going through like a whole bunch of challenges. We're still here. We're not going anywhere. I feel like it's that same kind of story in microcosm. Just the refusal to quit, right? Like there's a lot of people that'll just kind of ghost and go find something else to do or whatever it is, and really leave people in the lurch. And instead, you guys actually managed to create. You guys called it an arc, which is awesome. But a way for whole projects to move forward. That's like a huge difference in the ecosystem. And frankly, I hope it's precedent, right? Like it needs to be the bar that we set for ourselves, so that becomes the norm, right? The culture of this space should be about projects hitting challenges and continuing to move forward, even when they're cataclysmic, right? Like the Terra drop was like, that was a nuke. Like I don't know other than the Bitcoin hack in 2014, I don't know that we've ever seen anything of that magnitude really happen in this space before. So kudos just for putting your nose to the grindstone and making something work.
I really appreciate the kind words. I love the term refusal to quit.
Yeah,
that is what we did, the Terra builders.
Right?
I just want to give a big shout out for them, not only for OnePlanet. It was possible because they took good care of the community, and they've been focusing on building their projects for the meanwhile, not only just waiting for OnePlanet to open the migration process and reopen our marketplace on Polygon. They've been really focusing on building their projects. So yeah, it is time to really enjoy what they have been preparing, and I think now it is people know that it is happening. So the bullish community are coming back, and more than 50% of the total eligible NFTs to migrate are already migrated to Polygon within 10 days. And I think it is, quite outstanding.
That's a lot. Even just to have 50% of the NFTs of those communities, like just 50% of the people or however many it was around during, this bear market is a thing, right? Because so many people have sort of, ran for the hills. So I think even that as a stat where like you're clearly, maintaining the core groups of those communities while all the rest of this crazy stuff is going on, is another, I think, feather you guys should put in your cap, which is a weird saying. I don't know why I decided to dig out something that comes from the Renaissance era, but well done. Anyway, I'm going to pull this up. We can do some gratitude so I can stop waxing philosophical.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
Say hello. Yep, say hello.
Too adorable. All right. Well, Jimmy, you want to go first or what?
Yeah, I've got a couple today, but I'll do my first one. I'm just grateful for Inch and the OnePlanet ecosystem.
Thank you guys. I'm really glad that I was on Meta Effect show with Jimmy when we were preparing for the migration, and now it is done, and I'm back on this show with the Uplifters, and here with Corey and Jimmy once again. It's just I'm so grateful that everything happened. We could make it as we planned. And I'm really happy for all the community members who've waited for so long for us to rebuild the home for them. I'm recently I'm just feeling grateful for this, and I feel more obliged to build better ecosystem and a better platform and better partnerships to make this whole ecosystem to be advanced, to become in an advanced way, and really make the things that we've been promising to happen.
Yeah,
really
I think realizing the vision that we all put out there is something that it's funny. Like with somebody asked me during our last happy hour, like, hey, do you feel like you realized the vision that you set out with? And for Uplift, we did. Like everything we said we were going to build, we built. Right? It all works now. but I'm, he asked me if I was satisfied, and I'm like, I'm so not satisfied. Like no, because there's so much more, right? Like there's I feel like we barely scratched the surface of what's possible with all this stuff, right? So obviously we need to keep going. So I was working on some gratitudes for Chris. She says grateful for stable for diffusion, which if you don't know what that is, Google it and try it. Holy crap! Grateful for perseverance. I mean, if that doesn't sum up all of your team and definitely the core team and community from Uplift, I don't freaking know what does. But Inch, you were saying what you were grateful for, and I think I didn't quite catch it because I was still writing some stuff down. So what are you grateful for? Try and keep it short so I can put it on a sign.
Kicking ass. Inch is grateful for kicking ass.
Okay.
So actually, I didn't know. Actually, I'm losing connections. For a while. So I couldn't actually hear the whole of what you said. So I'm sorry if I missed anything, but I think maybe my connection isn't really great.
All right. So yeah, I was just asking what you're grateful for because I missed what you said.
Okay. Actually, so we're missing each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so grateful that everything happened as we promised to the community, and the community they waited for us to keep the promise. So it is kind of mutual respect and mutual obligation, I think, and it is the beauty of the community. So we've always been preaching out the importance of community and how we should value them, how we should communicate them. And we want to, bring the whole, wheelhouse to the communities to define and realize the utilities of NFTs in the future and make the mass adoption of blockchain technologies to, really happen. So we believed in them, they believed in us, and we made it. I'm so grateful about that. And I feel more obliged right now than before, that we really have to, keep the promise to make OnePlanet as a place to, make everything really, around, just like, the utilities and the possibilities of, NFTs to really, realized with this, hub for their, hub for the whole ecosystem. I really want to make that happen. I want to keep the promise. And yeah, I'm excited about what we can do together from now on. And yeah, I'm really grateful about the mutual respect and, the mutual trust that we, made it happen at last.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I managed to fit literally all of that on one time. Not to lie. I did give you 3 gratitudes, though. I sort of picked out a few key things out of there. So thank you very much for all that. Man, you know what? I was gonna try and be like all high-minded, but the first things that come to mind, Chris, Ramses from Uplift, and I work really closely together. She's usually the first person that I talk to during the day, because she's the smartest person I know. Don't tell her. I want to keep her humble. Anyway, so I'm super humbled that I get to work with people like Chris and. Obviously, Jimmy, you're in that category as well. And Inch, dude, you're freaking inspiring the hell out of me this morning. So you guys are my gratitudes today.
Thank you. The Uplifters will become the most, will become the most inspiring channel in the future. I believe in that. So let's make it together.
Well, I mean, and eventually, like, we're going to be on Polygon before too long. We just made our move over to Ethereum. Obviously, everything's kind of slow now, but it was always, kind of my vision and goal to have us go pretty wide, multi blockchain this year. So, I don't know, exactly when that's going to happen, but it's inevitable. And now, I mean, I feel like it'd be, we were going to just have to start on, OnePlanet, assuming, of course, that we pass the extremely rigorous checks to get on the platform, because we should have to. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Well, so I wanted to ask a couple more questions. Corey referred to the ARC earlier, right? And so you guys migrated at a necessity. We, like Corey, kind of stated, we've been looking to go to multi-platforms for a while now. Most people aren't. We have a couple projects who have, created NFTs across different platforms. MetaCollect being one example. But a lot of people that we know that are multi-platform are, within the EOSIO or within a certain ecosystem that doesn't really cross borders. So you guys created this arc, and I like to point out when Corey laughs at me, because sometimes my things aren't so laughable. Remember about a year and a half ago, Corey, when I said what we should do is we should figure out a way to burn NFTs on one side of the equation and then re-release them somewhere else, and you're like, that's ridiculous. Anyway. But now you guys have done that, right? You guys have done that. That was part of this migration, and I like the fact that the reasoning on why you did it, as you stated, was essentially because the owner of the NFT should have a choice, right? Which is interesting, because I never really thought about that, right? Okay, you bought a house, and now we're either gonna run the highway over your house, or we're gonna give you money and you can buy a new house somewhere else. Which do you choose? They're not just going to make you go somewhere else, right? Which is kind of interesting. But now my question is, you've kind of set the standard, this ability to be able to do it, right? This ability to be able to do it with NFTs, where you're dropping the same NFT, the same image, the exact same metadata on one blockchain, and killing it on another, right? And if you can do that to one blockchain, you can do that to multiple blockchains, right? Is that something that's in your roadmap now, the ability to arc across many different platforms, or are you predominantly focused on the Polygon ecosystem? Some really good friends of ours who also have an NFT marketplace, right? They're we would love to go other places, but we just don't have the ability to do that because there's too much shit we need to do here where we're home based, right? To be able to do it. So I'm just kind of curious, is this something that is going to be a part of OnePlanet, or was just this kind of the way that you did it, and now you've got other shit to build and to deal with before you even entertain the idea of going somewhere else?
So I think I will have to say yes to the both. So actually, this is what we've done for the arc that we provided for the old Terra projects, and now we're on Polygon. So predominantly for now, for a while, we'll concentrate on this ecosystem, and build a good foundation for us to expand to chain agnostic future. Because I truly believe that at some time, the time will come that whether it is coming from from which chain the digital asset is coming from won't really matter. But of course, I'm not really talking about, every chain will survive. But if the chain is being used by many people, and it is a decentralized blockchain, it will work. And it's going to be connected. I think it is kind of, undisputable truth that, multi-chain or cross-chain is the future that we are facing right in front of our face right now. So yeah, in the future, we also have a plan to make, because we're really utility focused, team, we want to make it happen that whether, the protocol that you want to use on one chain, and the asset that you want to interact with this protocol is on another chain, we want to make that, happen with seamless, user experience. And we want to add our supports into make that happen, because we know that it isn't possible for us to support everything that is needed to make this mass adoption and the wide utility of NFTs to be realized. So we're going to partner up with many projects and good builders, so whose interest and whose vision are really well aligned with OnePlanet. And I think the future that you mentioned, the cross-chain and the multi-chain, chain agnostic, environment. Yeah, I think that definitely OnePlanet will add our, efforts and our efforts into that. So we want to make that happen.
fresh fruit coupons for everyone. Sorry, there's an inside joke there.
Oh man, it's been so long since you've brought up coupon NFTs. Like I'm actually overwhelmed by nostalgia right now. I can't even. It's warming my heart.
Fresh fruit
We're
coupons.
not really we're focusing on a lot of other things over at the Uplift. And again, if you're out there reading the comments, like shout out to Sadisty, Modded Outlaw, and a bunch of other people who have been working their tails off behind the scenes. If you want to know what's going on in the Uplift, go hang out in the Discord for a bit, because there's tons of things that are happening, right? But like, so utility across different platforms and across different projects obviously has a different meaning, right? Now, what I actually really I'm excited about, and again, this is probably way lower on our priority list than anything that we're actively doing right now. But what I'm actually really excited about is like the day, which I think someday we will have NFTs at the Uplift that transverse across multiple blockchains. So you'll have one NFT, but it'll be the key to multiple regions on multiple different blockchains, right? And I think like that idea of having utility beyond something that's just aesthetic, for me, is what's gonna make this part of the blockchain ecosystem succeed where others might fail, right? Of course, there's a serious use case for DeFi. There's a serious use case for crypto payments. But I think when it comes to NFTs and utility, especially when it comes to like gaming, that for me is going to be the kind of pin that tilts the whole, I don't know, that was a horrible analogy, tilts the whole haystack towards the horse's mouth. I don't know why there's a needle in a haystack, but whatever, let's go with it, right? Like I think that like that's for me is what's kind of excited, right? So the fact that you guys are focused on projects that are primarily baking in utility, a good example would be the Meta Collect people, right? Like their NFTs will basically reward users with collect tokens that can be used within their ecosystem, right? There's a bunch of other projects that are doing utility. I'm kind of curious, maybe you don't have to name names, but what's the best utility from any of the projects that migrated that you saw in the ecosystem? Because I want to know like about utility. You don't have to say what projects they are, but like, you guys were focused on a lot of that. Like, what are some cool utilities that people might not know about that are coming out of what's sitting on OnePlanet?
So actually, if I mention names, it may become some, alpha leaks that isn't allowed.
So you don't have to mention names, just be general, like some cool utility.
Yeah, so in general, so I'm really bullish on the projects who connect the other projects with each other. So there are some projects building their, own products that can, be really useful for the other projects to build utilities on top of that. So those kind of projects are the, actually, I think their visions are really well aligned with OnePlanet. And OnePlanet is really bullish on supporting them. And there are not only one project who's doing that. There are multiple of projects who wants to, build an ecosystem that can allow a lot more, possibilities for the other projects. And it creates an ecosystem when they are connected. So yeah, when people are, I think I mentioned it before when I was first interviewing with Jimmy that OnePlanet wanted to solve the problem that the builders on blockchain ecosystem were competing with each other, actually building exactly the same thing, putting their efforts, money, time, simultaneously. But the outcome, they just makes it the same. So actually, that was what happening on our sins. I think we have to admit that because we are at too early stage. But if there are a kind of agreements made, among the builders out there, and if we can, we can make some consensus that if we concentrate on, our own, value and, the value propositions, it can be connected with each other in the future, and it will create the whole ecosystem. It will make the whole ecosystem bigger and greater. It will, it will accelerate the growth a lot. And I think that is something what we need right now. So we're not saying that we're the one who will, solve all the problems that is, here at, the blockchain sense. It isn't possible. And I'm not, I'm not Vitalik, and Vitalik himself cannot do that. But we want to become the one who at least, supports the initiative that we should, we should stick together. And we should, if you are a believer of Web3, we have to show what we are building together, if it is an ecosystem. So we want to build an ecosystem together with, the good builders like you guys, and, make it more, collective as possible.
Sign me up. I'm in.
You're already signed. I don't know what it is, but you really have to send me the free, Apple coupon or something.
Honestly, what I'd love to do, like, I don't think OnePlanet has a piece of land yet. Like, we need to solve that, and then invite, projects that are on your platform to come in and put up a picture and a QR code and, make a gallery out of it. I think it'd be awesome to have like a living gallery monument of OnePlanet, all of your partners and basically your whole ecosystem inside the Uplift. It would look fantastic.
Well, we've got a place in DGen. I could donate a plot for that, right next to where the Mongs are hanging out, where MetaCollects hang out.
That's a good idea.
Corey and I have a little section, if it's easier, in Ethereum, which is a creative world, that we could put something down in that bottom corner. There's nothing there yet, which would be kind of cool. But I like that idea a lot. So when Corey and I first started this channel, what's interesting is that we were talking to a lot of EOS projects, and that this was a few years ago, and they were out there, they were building stuff, but nobody was talking to each other. There are all these brilliant people that were building things, and nobody was talking to each other. And I'm not saying that we had like a massive impact, but I bet you if you could, roll back time and split it into 2 time frames, whereby the Uplift was launched and the Uplift wasn't, the impact, I think, Corey, that we had with our show and with our metaverse on, connecting various people through their plots in the metaverse, I think it was something, right?
Yeah, it wasn't zero.
We did a lot of roundtables.
Right.
We had a lot of these projects. So like, I'm down, with your, I don't know, with your mantra, Inch, of that being the ultimate use case for anything crypto, really, is the projects that are out there that are trying to, connect projects to succeed together, as opposed to ripping down others or using the old school methodology of, climbing to the top of the mountain over other people's backs, right? That's, I think, where we're headed for the future, right? That might be where we have problems breaking into the mainstream, because a lot of the mainstream businesses aren't used to that, kind of collective ambition to push, a whole ecosystem or a whole industry forward, right? But that's maybe the potential that we have in the new world going forward. So, but yeah, let's definitely do that. I mean, I would love to also do little introductory spots on all of the projects that would be willing and ready. One of the things that Corey and I used to do is we used to do roundtables, right? And we kind of got out of that, but it'd be really fun to have, 4 or 5 projects that launched on OnePlanet, and just have them in for like a rapid fire, like 20-30 minute interview. Introduce yourself, tell us what you love about like the transition, what you want to build, like hook us up with any of them. Like, we'd be more than happy to host them.
Let's just put that on the books and do it. I think that'd be a great idea. And really, like, right now, man, the more projects we're talking to, all right, Department 77, us, please. All right, so we got volunteers already. That's amazing. Hey, Sean, we might even invite you too there, buddy. Who knows? We'll see. Yeah, just selfishly, really selfishly, every single time we get a project on that, and they're just bubbling with, enthusiasm and grit and resiliency, it's awesome for me personally. We're, just like surrounding ourselves with the people that are planning on sticking it out and doing the work is awesome. So Inch, again, I hate to keep, no, I don't really. I was gonna say I hate to keep blowing sunshine up your ass, but I don't really. It's kind of fun. I just, thanks for being here. It means a lot to me.
Thank you as well. It's just really great, being connected with you.
Well,
Cool.
I know you got to go soon, but I do have one more question. I had a show last week with Sean, and we were talking about this, and one of the community members over in the Crunks project, they decided to maybe leave an NFT or two over on the Terra blockchain. You never know what's going to come back, what's going to die, what's going to be good. So my question is, for people who have already migrated, is it possible to still use OnePlanet on the Terra Classic? Or have you guys shut down everything over there and officially ported over to Polygon?
We did shut down our service on Terra.
Okay.
So it is still there. The website is still there, terra.oneplanetnft.io. But the only thing that you can do there is to check on your inventory and withdraw your NFTs if you did list your NFTs on our marketplace. And now you can also transfer.
What if I had crunks? What if there were crunks that were listed on another marketplace that I wanted to go and buy on another marketplace? Could I buy them over there on another marketplace and then go through the process to migrate my crunks or whatever NFTs that I wanted to from the Terra blockchain over again? Is it a one-time only thing, or can I do that multiple times?
So actually I lost you for a while, but I think the question is that, is it possible to buy more NFTs on Terra on another marketplace and then migrate it over to Polygon? Is it correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
it is totally possible, because we didn't actually force the projects to delist their NFTs on Terra side, because if they want to do it, they can still do it.
That's
and
awesome.
If there still are the community members who wants to trade their NFTs, why not? So actually, we had to shut down our service, but there were other marketplace options, so they could still trade their NFTs. And if they believed, and actually now I think that they were the smartest ones who stayed on Terra and actually swept the NFTs from other marketplace, and who migrated them to Polygon. And it is still possible if they are still there listed on Terra side, because I wouldn't do it, because if I'm the holder, I wouldn't list it on Terra side. I would migrate them to Polygon by myself, getting rewards from OnePlanet, 2 medics per each token, and then list it on Polygon via OnePlanet. That would be the smart choice.
It's free alpha for anybody that wants to go sweep some cheap floors, though, right?
Yeah, totally. And of course it is, I have always been thinking that the project teams also should respect the decision of the holders for them to just stay on Terra side. But it is obvious that the core team and the community will focus on the Polygon side to build the future developments of their projects. So actually, it is, totally free will. It is your choice, but for me, there is no reason to stick on Terra with your NFT assets.
Well, I would say probably, I mean, I'm just guessing. I have no idea. But I would say probably it's a bunch of people who are just like, screw this. I lost faith in the ecosystem. I'm going to go somewhere else. And they were already listed and they're not even playing in the ecosystem. They're just there, right? But when, again, all people need to, be aware of the risks and things when you're playing with blockchain cryptocurrency. But I mean, I've seen the prices on Polygon, and they're a hell of a lot higher than they are on Terra Classic. So if you can sweep up some good stuff on Terra Classic, yeah. So I don't know. Have you ever seen the Swingin' Jimmy Kronk there, Inch?
Yeah.
You might have.
Actually not.
Okay, I'll pull it up, and then I know you got to go, but I'll pull it up, and then we'll let you go. But yeah, this is courtesy of the beautiful people over at MetaCollect, primarily our good friend Sean. Let me just share this. He decided to encode me in blockchain history as, I don't know, I would say probably the best Kronk ever, but that's open for debate. It's
it is Pretty awesome.
Swinging.
So yeah, that's a one of one.
Man.
If you ever happen to get your hands on it, it'll be brilliant. You're gonna
So
have to...
it is truly one of one.
Yeah, it's a one of one. I don't even own it. It's still in the coffers. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Figure out a way to make this go down as the biggest swinging crunk in the history of Crunktown. But yeah, thanks so much for joining us. I can't wait until I can get you back on any show with me again, Inch, because I had a blast with Sean when we first met, and I obviously had a blast here with Corey. So keep us updated, keep me updated. Let me know. If there's anything we can do to push forward, your journey and everything that you guys are building for everyone who you're working with, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think you guys should, host shows from, our partner projects, starting from Department 77.
Done. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Line it up.
I would be there listening, So
yeah, no, we
again,
like it's only a matter of time before the Uplift World's on Polygon. So and we love making friends. So bring it on.
Yeah,
rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
I mean, I'm gonna let you guys go. We haven't done this in a while, Corey. Feel free to drop off, Inch. But I'm just in the mood for some, good old. Let's take the dark days that are upon us and kick some flipping ass, because that's what blockchain and crypto is all about. We won't be back. We'll be back, a different day, a different time. But strap yourselves in, enjoy this for 2 minutes, and we'll see you next time. Inch, thank you so much. Toodaloo.